There are organisms alive today who are ancient when the Great Pyramids were new. They've outlived classical Greece and Rome, the Dark Ages, the Renaissance, and straight into our modern era. While human dynasties rise and fall, while the chaos and tumult of civilization rages around them, they stay rooted in some of the harshest conditions on Earth, living on a timescale measured in millennia. They're called bristlecone pines. Hello, everyone. Giant Stonehead here. If you enjoy obscure science and forgotten history, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And stay till the end for the dad joke of the week. With that out of the way, let's talk about some ancient trees. Bristlecone pines exist in conditions most plants find unsurvivable. High in the mountains of California, Nevada, and Utah, where the air is thin and the soil is poor, these trees grow at elevations typically between 9,000 and 12,000 feet, where they endure extreme cold, fierce winds, and minimal precipitation. You could say they're living the high life. Jokes aside, bristlecone pines really do thrive in harsh conditions, where some individuals have become the oldest known living organisms on Earth, their age exceeding 5,000 years. Their longevity is a result of highly specialized adaptations that allow them to survive where competition is minimal and the environmental threats are reduced. They've evolved to thrive where few things can. I should note that there is, as with anything in biology, some controversy here. Scientists like nothing more than a quibble over details, after all. There are some tree species, such as quaking aspens, whose lifespan could exceed 16,000 years. These are called clonal organisms, who reproduce by cloning, as their name might suggest. Individual trees might be relatively young, maybe 100 years old, but the roots they come from could be among the most ancient organisms on the planet. Saying that bristlecone pines are the oldest organisms on Earth deserves an asterisk. They're the oldest non-clonal organisms on Earth. With that clarification out of the way, let's continue. The most obvious feature of bristlecone pines is their twisted, gnarled appearance. Their trunks look dead, with only narrow strips of tissue supporting the tree. This is called sectored architecture, where different sections of the tree are sustained by separate root systems. If one root dies, only a detached section of the tree is affected, leaving the rest to survive. By maintaining only small portions of living tissue, bristlecone pines reduce the energy required for survival. Dead wood can make up a large portion of the tree and does not require nutrients, which helps conserve resources in nutrient-poor environments, contributing to the species' remarkable longevity. Also, these trees grow extremely slowly. In some cases, their annual growth rings are so thin they can only be measured under a microscope. The slow growth results in dense, resin-rich wood that is highly resistant to insects, fungi, and decay. Among the most famous bristlecone pines is Methuselah, named after the biblical figure who is said to be the oldest human in history. The pine in the image is not Methuselah. Methuselah itself lives in part of California's White Mountains kept secret from the public for the tree's protection, though there are no pictures of it on the internet. Its age has been measured at nearly 5,000 years old, making it one of the oldest known living trees. Even older specimens may exist. Scientists have identified bristlecone pines with ages exceeding 5,000 years, although exact records are sometimes uncertain due to lost samples or incomplete data. Other species within bristlecone group also exhibit impressive longevity. The Rocky Mountain bristlecone pine, found in Colorado and surrounding areas, can live for more than 2,000 years, with some individuals surpassing 2,400 years. The immense age of bristlecones makes them living vaults of scientific knowledge, locking data about climate conditions within their rings. Bristlecone pines are often described as climatic time capsules. Their growth rings record annual variations in environmental conditions such as temperature and precipitation. By studying these rings, a branch of knowledge, if you will, known as dendrochronology, scientists can reconstruct climate patterns going back thousands of years. The research has been instrumental in improving our understanding of historic climate change. Tree-ring data from bristlecone pines has been used to calibrate radiocarbon dating techniques to study long-term climate cycles, including droughts and volcanic activity. Because these trees can live for millennia, They provide one of the longest continuous climate records available from any living thing on Earth. Recent scientific research has begun to uncover the genetic factors behind bristlecone pine's extraordinary lifespan. A genome sequence study revealed that these trees possess 21,000 protein-coding genes, including many of which associated with disease resistance and cellular longevity. One particularly intriguing finding is the presence of relatively long telomeres, the protective caps at the end of chromosomes. Think of them as the aglet on the end of a shoelace, with a similar function. In many organisms, telomeres shorten over time, exposing chromosomes to more damage. The longer telomeres observed in bristlecone pines may help explain their ability to live for thousands of years. However, this research has shown that longevity is not controlled by single genes. Instead, it results from a complex interplay of genetic, environmental, and structural factors. Bristlecone pines grow in environments that are inhospitable to most forms of life. Their preferred habitats include rocky slopes with alkaline soils, where nutrients are scarce and water drains quickly. These conditions limit competition from faster-growing species, giving bristlecone pines a unique ecological niche. High winds and freezing temperatures can strip away the bark and kill portions of the tree. You might say it gives them a weathered appearance. At the same time, these conditions also reduce the presence of pests and diseases, reducing mortality from external sources. At the end of the day, the very factors that make these environments harsh, cold, dryness, and poor soil, are key to the tree's survival. In more favorable conditions, faster growing species would outcompete bristlecone pines and prevent them from reaching their extraordinary ages. Another aspect of bristlecone pine biology is the role they play in their ecosystems. They provide habitat for specialized organisms, such as Clark's nutcrackers, who help spread the seeds of the pine trees, and yellow-bellied marmots, who live among their roots. And they contribute to soil stabilization in mountainous regions. However, their greatest importance may lie in their value to scientific research, at least from a human perspective. The study of bristlecone pines has contributed to fields ranging from climatology to archaeology. For example, their tree ring records have helped scientists understand how climate have changed over millennia. They also serve as models for studying resilience and adaptation. Understanding how these trees survive extreme conditions and resist aging could have implications for other fields, including medicine and conservation biology. While bristlecone pines have survived for thousands of years, they are not immune to modern threats. Climate change poses a significant risk, as rising temperatures may alter the delicate balance of conditions that allow these trees to thrive. Increased competition from other species, as well as pests and disease, could also impact their survival. Human activity is another concern. In the past, some of the oldest bristlecone pines were cut down for research purposes before their significance was fully understood. Today, strict protections are in place, and the exact locations of the oldest trees are often kept secret to prevent vandalism. Conservation efforts focus on preserving their habitats and monitoring environmental changes. Scientists are also using genetic research to better understand how these trees might adapt to future conditions. Perhaps the most compelling aspect of bristlecone pines is their connection to deep time. A single tree can span the rise and fall of civilizations, silently recording the passage of centuries in its rings. When Methuselah first sprouted, humans were just beginning to build the earliest cities. Since then, the world has undergone countless transformations, yet this tree, and others like it, continue to grow and thrive. Bristlecone pines challenge our perception of time and resilience. They demonstrate that life can endure under most extreme circumstances, and that longevity is not merely a function of favorable environments, but of adaptation and persistence. But what do you think? Have you seen a bristlecone pine? Would you like to hear about more ancient trees, such as the clonal aspens I mentioned earlier? Feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'll be posting here weekly. If there's anything you'd like me to cover next, let me know. And now, what you've been waiting for, the dad joke of the week. What do protons and optimists have in common? They both know how to stay positive. Till next time, thanks so much for watching. I'm really grateful that you decided to give me your time and attention. And I hope I can continue to make videos for you. I'm having fun with it so far. And if all goes well, this will continue for a long time to come. So, until then, Enjoy, and thanks so much for being here.